What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Revolution. So today we're going to jump in and take a quick look at the Marvel Mall updates. I'm kind of like losing my steam on Marvel Mall updates at this point, just because most of them just are shit anyways, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know how to say it any other better way other than to say they're pretty much shit. I mean, we just basically went through a whole new update today, which mostly revolved around stability for the servers, and then realistically they revolve on more Marvel Mall updates. At this point, you know, it's kind of weird. So we already reviewed the Region Costume Festival that's currently going on. So they're going to start out the first week. This week is going to be Midgardia and Xandurf. There's a chance up on those events inside, and then it's going to rotate. So I think Hydra and Sakaar next week, and then or Hydra and new whatever. Basically, we're going to rotate costumes every week, and so there's going to be a draw chance up for the costumes. This week is Xandurf and Midgardia. Next week is going to be Hydra, which is what most people will look, and then the last week is going to be 3 Sakaar, Savage, and Dark Domain, I believe it is. So those are going to be your region uniforms that you're basically looking at, and so it's going to be one week, and then the last week all throughout the month of January. In the patch notes, they didn't mention any new festivals for companions, Omega cards, or anything in Dimension Box in terms of up chances for those, which kind of sucks. But then we did get some featured new items packages. Basically, we've got the 2022 Lucky Crystal Perk, and you can see inside here, this is going to cost you $4, $3.99 US, and your instant reward is 245 crystals. And then over the course of 11 days, yeah, so I'm not sure where the lucky is coming with the number 11, because it just seemed weird that we went to 11. You're going to basically collect 100 crystals each day over the course of the 11 days, which is 1100 crystals there, or basically 1,000 crystals. And because on the last day you're going to collect 777, so that's the lucky that we get in the US, 777 crystals. So that's basically is the equate into 1,777 crystals, 20 plus the 245, and you should see how you're basically reaching that magic number of 2022. So, and that's for $3.99. I'd be a fool to tell you that wasn't worth it to purchase, because that's over 2,000 crystals for $4. Go inside the charge shop and you look at what 2,000 crystals is going to cost you, and you're not getting over 2,000 crystals for less than $50 pretty much. Like you can see here, 1650 and 100 gets you 150, so you're right underneath, right underneath 2,000 crystals for $27, which is just insane. I really hope that they come around to the point with 72,000 players, less than 100,000 players playing the game, that they should be updating these things, because doesn't make sense not to at this point, guys. You're really shooting yourself in the foot here. So wouldn't tell you that this isn't worth purchasing for $4. Highly worth purchasing. 2,000 crystals for this price is really good. Then we get the weekly training bundle that's there. You basically get $26, and you can see that you're going to basically get 1,650 crystals immediately, and then you get the training time tickets, 7 of them, which is pissing me off to no end that this is being sold. This is legitimately one of those places inside the shop that we as players should be pushing back against Marvel Future Revolution devs in full force. They are essentially selling us leveling up our characters, because they didn't include a way to level up our characters in the story. This should not be being sold. This is just ridiculous in my opinion, that training time tickets are being sold in the shop as a way for you to just do what the game should naturally expect you to do and should facilitate, which is leveling up your characters. I hate that I'm seeing this, and I hate that I'm even talking about it. So naturally, I'm going to tell you, no, this is not worth it. I mean, you're basically going to have 70-minute additional time, because each of these training tickets are only worth 10 minutes. So you're basically looking at another hour of training time that we should be getting anyways, right? Because we were getting that much time just from playing Dark Zone. It was 7 hours a week that you were doing Dark Zone. Now you've basically pulled it down to 3 hours, and now you're selling me additional hours to come up. So the very least thing that you could have did was give us the same equivalency of the 7 hours a week that we had inside Dark Zone, inside the training place, 7 hours. And then you could have sold off, because then players would understand right away, like, okay, well, it's just extra time because you just basically pushed this over here. But that's not what you did. You mirrored it down to 7. We get to collect 1 training ticket a day, so now we're at about 4.5 hours, 4 hours 15 minutes, something like that. And then you're selling the additional 3 hours to us, now the additional hours in the shop for the weekly training bundle. Are you fucking serious? Like, the disrespect levels that goes into that. Don't forget that your daily training box, I believe you can collect tickets from here, I think it is, but I wouldn't give a hell about it. I wouldn't purchase this. $26.99, 1,650 crystals. The training time ain't worth it because you can't use all those characters anyways, and you damn sure ain't going to build up the resources to do all those characters in the first place. So what's the point of holding on to training time tickets for that? Just no point at all. Your Omega supply box and your daily training boxes, not worth it. $27, don't spend it. You need to vote in this game with your wallets. The more you tell these guys that, you know what, this shit ain't cool and ain't gonna fly, and you vote with your wallet, and especially with the numbers in the player base dwindling below 100,000, they'll hear it eventually. We've got the weekly gold supply bundles inside here. I don't know why you would purchase this shit. Like 100%. I mean, they haven't even given you a reason to purchase this weekly gold supply bundle, because they still haven't even given you the ability to transmute Omega cards and uniforms for Magic. So without the ability to transmute for this new character, what reason do I have to stash extra gold? Like, just think about that in of itself. When Magic got released, we're now 2 weeks away or something like that, and we still don't have a way to transmute her outfits, or costumes, or Omega cards for the character. That is done intentionally. They are not going to convince me any way, shape, or form that wasn't done intentionally. That is done intentionally with the intent that they are knowingly going to have a bunch of players who are going to be hard up that they want to level up this character, and they're going to purchase and roll for new comic cards and new uniforms to get Magic up to those levels instead of waiting for the transmutation. This should not be something that we've gone 2 weeks without. This should not be something that difficult to add to the transmutation roll list at all. No. Not worth it. Skip that shit immediately. The weekly draw ticket bundle, guess what? Skip that shit. 3,500 crystals basically is what you're giving up in order to get 10 costume draw tickets, 10 card draw tickets, 10 companion summon tickets, and 10 dimension box tickets. Well, let's address this, right? So it looks like you'd be like, yay, this is really good, because let's say each of these is $2,000, right? Or 2,000 crystals a piece. We'd say, let's say this is 10, so it's only really 900, right? But we look at these and we go, okay, so 10, that's 2,000, 2,000, 4,000, 6,000. And then we get over here and we're like, okay, about 6,900 worth of tickets, right? Or we take off about another 600 and we say it's about 6,300. So almost for half the value of purchasing these draw tickets, you basically get it for 3,500 crystals, right? But here was the problem. Dimension box tickets, nullify those. You know why we nullify them, period? Because the core system in this game absolutely sucks dingleberries. So we nullify those. Then we get the companion summon tickets. Without event, these tickets are worthless. Card draw tickets. Without event, these tickets are worthless. Costume draw tickets. Do you really need the costumes? This is probably like the two areas between card and costume are probably the only areas in the game where you're immediately going to see dividends for your character's growth. So again, thank you, King. This is all in or not in at all. Skip this shit. All right. Double costume draw tickets. So for 2,000, you're basically going to get an immediately instant reward of 10 costume draw tickets, and then get an additional 10 costume draw tickets over the next 10 days. So that's basically 20 costume draw tickets for 2,000 2,000 crystals. So essentially the double reward is there. So let me be honest with you guys about this. Is this a good purchase value at crystals where you're able to save up the crystal value over the game of what they give you in game? Yes, it is. The bad part about this is that the draw rates in this game suck so bad that I would not tell you to spend the 2,000 crystals on this unless you were already going to draw costumes anyways. Then it is a good value because basically they gave you 2,000 crystals, you were able to purchase 4,000 worth of crystals, therefore it is a good deal. If you don't already have the 2,000 crystals, then don't purchase this. That's essentially what I'm telling you there, right? The same exists for the double card draw ticket. Same exact thing for the double companion summon ticket. Not worth it unless you already have the 2,000 crystals, and those 2,000 crystals were given to you for free by the game. If you're purchasing those crystals and you're using them, then it's just really not there. So you could purchase this, collect the tickets, especially if you plan on doing any draws. So you can see, for instance, I will not lie to you, I have 18,000 crystals. Most of those are just saving up because I don't have anything to spend these fucking crystals on. Would I spend 2,000 crystals on these events? Yes, I would. Why? Because if I were to go in here and I pay 2,000 crystals right out inside the draw, that'd be one draw. But here I'm basically going to spend 2,000 crystals in order to end up with 4,000 crystals, and then I'll just hold on to those and wait. Now the problem becomes if they run any event like they did the Black Friday festival event again, where they say that I can't use these draw tickets on festivals and I have to use festival specific tickets. If that happens again, that lowers the value of events like this, and I hope they don't do that shit again. Then we get over here to the Dimension box tickets. I will tell you, the Dimension box tickets are not worth it. They're never going to be worth it until they fix the core box. As long as this exists and they do not fix the core, this is trash. The thing that peeves me off the most about these 1-for-1 per squad things like this right here for these tickets specifically is that this is a free-to-play option, right? You know what I mean? So like essentially it's a free-to-play friendly option. They have no problem, and this is again going to the Marvel Weekly Mall. They have no problem selling this to you and you getting the chance to have 5 out of 5 of these if you pay the $30. But they have such a problem of giving you the weekly at more than 1 per squad. Maybe you were one of those players who just saved up all the crystals that you were able to accumulate in this game from the beginning. You ended up with 4,000, 6,000 crystals. Why would they not give you the opportunity to do exactly the same thing and spend those? So I would say the card draw, the double costume draw, and the companion draw are worth it if you just have the crystals, because you're doubling up on your crystal value in the first place, because you are more than likely going to use your crystals to make draws on those anyways. So you get where I'm going with that, right? Dimension box is never worth it because, like I said, it's just trash. Like, what do you really want to do with that? It is just trash. So I would skip out on the Dimension box, because if you get cores, you're fucked. Who wants to re-roll cores? I think somebody inside the Revolution Reddit said that they had saved up all of their crystals for almost 2 months or something like that. They paid up, and then they their Dimension box rewards, and they re-rolled all of those Dimension box, over 100 cores and stuff like that, and ended up with 1 6-star core. We had 50% success rate for 3-star cores. That's ridiculous. Like, why would that not be 50% at 5-star or 50% at 4-star? It's just ridiculous rates, guys. Just ignore them. Just ignore them. And then for here, we basically have the 2022 RACCOON'S gift bundle. Costume draw tickets. I think we already had this in the shop. And if I'm going over something that was already there that I went over before, deal with it. But we got the costume draw tickets, and we can see that it's basically, like I said, it's just, you're looking at a $6,000 price for 2022 crystals, because remove the Dimension box and basically end up with a 6,000 crystal value. If you were already going to spend the tickets, this is worth it to spend the crystals on. If you already have the crystals, you're just basically stashing them up. The shitty part about it that they have done to me in my mind is that there's no way of knowing if they're going to pull the same trash that they pulled for the Black Friday festival. Like, for instance, I'll go over this again and I'll say it. If you go into the draw shop right here, right, and I go into the costume shop where there's a draw chance increase, if I have these crystals or those tickets here, then I could use those tickets, right, in order to summon on this event. But when they did the Black Friday festival, I wasn't able to use any of these summon companion tickets, costumes, tickets and stuff like that in order to draw on those events, which made it a really shitty event in my opinion. Lastly, you're gonna have some of the other events inside here for, like, you know, your Stark gift bundle, and these are gonna cost money. Your Chavez gift bundle, your Fury's gift bundle, and things like that. To be perfectly 100% honest with you, I don't find any of these to be worth anything at all, and I wouldn't pay them. The price of $50 alone to me makes them not something I want to pay for at all. I mean, especially like this PYMS gift bundle core boxes. Who the hell cares about getting 3 to 5 star core boxes when I'm gonna probably fail in leveling them up, because this is most likely going to be a 3-star core for 11 of these, and maybe in there I'll get a 4 or 5 star core, but most of these are going to be 3-star, and I'm only going to get a 50% chance. So until they improve some of these leveling up events and things like that, these are just wasted items for you. This is legitimately wasted items for you. So you do what you're gonna do, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to tell you exactly what to do inside here. This is completely on you. But yeah, I don't see the value in these guys, and I'm really hoping that they make a change for these items overall, because they really do need a change. Like I said, the only item in here that I would really necessarily jump on is 2022 Lucky Crystal Perk Pack. 100% go grab that if you have $4 that you can spend, and then the double costume draw tick, because I mean, when you're looking at this, you're getting over 2,000 crystals. That basically means for $4 you could basically go double up on something from here as well. So for $4 you can then take those crystals, roll them into the double costume draw ticket perks or something like that, or the card draw ticket perks, and roll into those as well. So they're there for that. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I'm glad to be back at it, glad to have some power, glad to be safe and sound. I hope that you guys are as well. Until next time, peace.